Today we're going to continue with the dungeon, but before that, I have to share with you my latest little obsession when it comes to Persona. And I know I haven't even gotten to play Persona 5, which by the way, did you know that we're gonna start the Persona 5 playthrough as soon as we're done with all of these? Never mind. Another obsession. Another one, Neon. I have multiple obsessions. Persona, for better or for worse, is one of them. And I know I haven't played 5, and we're starting 5, by the way, really soon. I just want to hear from you guys. Are you excited for my Persona 5 playthrough? Come on. Are you excited? We're gonna start very soon. Hopefully as soon as I'm done with the answer, and I think we're gonna finish Persona 4 before that. Now, when it comes to platinuming Persona 4 and Persona 3, I'm gonna save that for, something to do in between, because we can't just spend a year doing Persona 5. I'm gonna burn out, and I'm just gonna need something, a little bit of something on the side to, to kind of break the monotony a little bit. So we'll be doing that as well, but I want to see the ending of the answer, and I want to see the true ending of Persona 4. We'll try to do that. I'm working on fitting in everything. Star Wars The Old Republic may or may not end up being an offline playthrough, but I'm working through it. I need to clear out my backlog. I am trying so hard to finish at least something. At this point, you're playing on hard mode, and the answer is masochism for playing your favorite game. Honestly, I feel like it's the other way around, because my favorite game gets to last longer. Get to listen to music. I get to, yes, at some point, well, a lot of times we do die, but today, let's try not to die today. That's gonna be the goal for today. Anyway, I started talking about this, this obsession that I have, and I've been spending some time, an unhealthy amount of time, actually looking into how Persona 6 is going to look like. And yes, Persona 6, from what I understand, is in the works, and there are some leaks for Persona 6. And today I want to catch up on some of the news. Anyhow, we're gonna watch a video today to warm up a little bit, and the video is called These Persona 6 Leaks Have Me Excited. This is from a channel called Zeffy. Anyhow, Persona 6 Leaks have me excited. So should we turn on the captions? We can. It's easier to read. Let me just check out the volume to see if it's any good.
It has now been 8 years since vanilla Persona 5 launched.
Okay, it's fine. Today we're gonna watch this video. If you want to know nothing at all about Persona 6 in general, I advise you to not watch this, to go get yourself a snack or a drink or something for the next 15 minutes or so. But I do want to find out as much as I can about the leaks. I don't think they're gonna spoil Persona 5 or 4 or whatever. I think this is just a discussion on what's actually been leaked, and there have been a few things. So if you want to educate yourselves on a little bit of Persona 6 and what might be coming in the next, I don't know, probably not next year, I don't know, but I think it's gonna be really exciting. So let's watch it. Let's see what he has to say.
It has now been 8 years since vanilla Persona 5 launched, and nearly 4 years since the Royal Edition came out. And after a questionable amount of spin-offs, I'm looking at you, Persona 5 Defend Mechs. When is Persona 6 coming out?
What's that one?
At this stage, we really don't know. But there has been a lot of very interesting information about the much anticipated 6th entry in the Persona series. This is coming from a lot of credible leakers. And in today's video, I will be going through everything we know so far about Persona 6.
Okay, what did you say? How many years into Persona 5 has Persona 5 Royale been released? I really hope that this is something that we're not going to have to expect with Metaphor, or I don't know, with other atlus releases, because I do see a little bit of a pattern, and I do hope that Metaphor feels like a full game. Please, let it just be a full game.
So there's not really any spoilers, especially considering all of the information are rumors for now, but I will be putting a warning here that if you do not want to know anything about Persona 6 and want to go into the experience completely fresh, click off the video now. But
I love how he put everything he had into not saying blind.
But if you want to know a little bit of, what it's possibly going to be about, then definitely keep watching. Also, I would really appreciate if you guys could please give this video a like, as it helps the algorithm, recommending this video to as many people as possible, and definitely subscribe for more Persona content. So most of the information I will be talking about is from our amazing queen herself, Midori, on Twitter. For those of you who don't know Midori, she is a very credible source of information about Sega and Atlus games. Correctly predicting Persona 3 Reload, its episode Aegis DLC, and P5 Tactica, just to name a few.
Okay, predicting or having actual information? There's a big difference there, I think.
Of the leaks and stuff that she provided. I would definitely recommend following her on Twitter if you want more news about everything Atlus and Persona. So go to it. I think the biggest piece of info we know so far would be the potential release of P6. So according to Midori on Twitter, P6 is on track for 2025.
The next Persona was not going to come out in 2024. Right now it's 2025, but 2026 is much more likely. It's a higher scale game than P5, oh god. But in many ways it will be different too. P3R is in some ways a test for this game. It will be a much larger step than P5 from P3 and P4. Oh my god, that has me so excited. That has me excited. If there's a Persona 7, it will be V7.
Release window with a potential announcement at the end of 2024. The cycle between mainline games has been the longest it has been. Vanilla Persona 3 to Persona 4 was 4 years, Persona 4 to Persona 5 was 8. And if the rumors are true, then Persona 5 to Persona 6 will be approximately 9 years between mainline games. This is not including, their re-releases like FES, Gold, and Royal. I would assume that if there is an announcement this year, then it will be after Metaphor releases. Atlus will definitely want to throw as much money as possible into marketing the next installment of Persona.
To be honest with you, I do prefer that. As someone who's experienced both Persona and Final Fantasy, I do think that there's a lot of joy in waiting longer rather than having one game be released and then knowing already that the next one is coming in like the next 2 or 3 years. Because we only just got Final Fantasy 16 like last year or so, and people are already inquiring about Final Fantasy 17, and I feel like it's probably a good idea. I'm not on board with like all of the re-releases and everything. I think the games should be full games, and I do like that they have like side games like fighting games, dancing games, rhythm games, whatever. I'm not a huge fan of just releasing an original game and then 2 years later redoing it because it's not good. But at the same time, I think that there's a lot of joy in waiting for a Persona game. As someone who's discovered them quite recently, I understand the frustration of sitting there and waiting for years that I probably don't understand quite yet. But I like how much time they're putting into development.
And they can definitely do that once Metaphor releases. Even though we will have to wait a little bit longer, guys, it is actually nearly here. I can feel it. Please, no more spin-offs.
I mean, I really hope that Metaphor, like I said, gets an original release. And also, I would assume that a lot of people who would be working on Persona 6 are working on Metaphor. So Metaphor right now is getting a lot of attention. And it's probably, if it's not complete, it's in the finishing stages. So I'm pretty sure that at that point, what are these people who are on both of the projects gonna do? There is Persona 2 Remake in the works, apparently. Persona 4 Remake planned for some time in the future. And there's apparently Persona 6 as well. So, what do you think?
Please. This is further corroborated by a leaker known as Head on the Block, claiming that Persona 6 is a fully featured semi-open world game.
On the topic of Atlus DLC, P6 is a fully featured semi-open world game. It's 95% complete and is releasing next year with DLC. No way. The bigger DLC will have story and characters, yes, but the game is a full game. I just don't know why people are hampering on Persona having DLC and don't question almost every other major single-player game that gets bonus DLC. It's weird to me. This isn't a new thing. Wait, what? Really? No.
It's 95% complete and is releasing next year with DLC. The bigger DLC will have story and characters, yes, but the full game is a full game. I just don't know why people are hampering on Persona having DLC, and don't question almost every other major single player game that gets bonus DLC. It's weird to me, this isn't a new thing. So this confirms a couple of things. It seems like Persona 6 is most likely being released in 2025, and just like with recent Atlus titles including Metaphor, P6 will have DLC. The word DLC really did kill the vibe for me, however if, and that's a very big if at this stage, after the episode Aegis debacle, if they do it correctly, and it's just an add-on instead of releasing a Persona 6 reload version of the game, then I'm definitely all for that. But if they cut out a section of the game and release it a couple of months later, then I'll be very, very disappointed. But this remains to be seen at this point in time. Persona has always been synonymous with PlayStation, however, the latest rumors surrounding the next mainline installment in the Persona series suggest that it is in development for multiple platforms, including Xbox, PlayStation, and possibly Nintendo's next generation console, commonly referred to as the Switch 2. This information comes from Persona leaker Midori, indicating a potential expansion of the series' reach to new platforms. Furthermore, Video Game Insider Nate the Hate hinted at the
I don't understand how these leakers work. Is this a person that is employed at Atlus and no one can figure out who they are and they're just leaking, or is this like an employer, like a leaker's cousin or something, and no one can figure out who the rat is? Like, how do they operate? How does this even work?
Possibility of Persona 6 launching simultaneously on Xbox and PlayStation, considering the evolving relationship between Xbox and Atlus. While not confirmed, Nate suggests that the Persona series' history of multiple platform releases makes it a plausible scenario for Persona 6. A lot of people were also speculating the age setting of the new Persona game. Many people wanted to see an adult cast similar to Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, and it seems like the general consensus, at least from what I read online.
Does Persona 2 have adult cast? Like, I haven't played it, and I'm definitely gonna play the remake if they make the remake. But what's the setting?
Would be open to the change. Unfortunately though, for those people, it seems like the next Persona game will not leave the confines of high school life. However, there was another leak talking about the potential of the protagonist of P6 being a third-year high school student getting ready for the adult life, rather than being a second year. So keep watching more for that one. Me personally, I don't really mind having another high school cast. As an adult who works a full-time job, being an adult isn't actually that much fun. And you definitely start to lose the magic of being a teenager who still has dreams and aspirations. Trust me guys, I'm not depressed. It's okay. Anyways, traditional to the modern iteration of Persona, and retroactively for Persona 1 and Persona 2, color plays a huge role in the identity of the games. What I mean by this is how Persona uses color palette throughout each of the game's story, combat, gameplay systems, and UI.
It does make you wonder if these leaks are controlled leaks that actually are not someone leaking, but releasing information that the community is excited about because it feels forbidden.
Blue for Persona 3, yellow for Persona 4, and red for Persona 5, for example. Well, from Queen Midori, it is all but confirmed the color theme for Persona 6. Persona 6 will have the predominant color of green. Now, many people were speculating the color would be green from various 25th anniversary Persona art, such as this one with all the mainline protagonists in front of a graffitied wall and a bucket of paint next to Joker. That is, you guessed it, green. In fact, if you actually line up all the protagonists with their respective Persona title number, it actually comes up with the hex code for the exact color of green in the paint bucket. Like, seriously, like, what? What? The 25th anniversary artwork shows off a lot of graffiti art, and art as a medium for the protagonists in general. Yes guys, I am definitely alluding to something here. From a Reddit thread approximately 5 months ago, I will link it in the description. Someone who claims to have been on the dev team for Persona 6 shared some details surrounding the game. Now, I honestly thought this was a major bullshit because they talk about working with Katsura Hashino, even though he's not part of P Studio anymore, as well as claims green being the color palette and art being a main theme of the game. Wait, hold up. Green and art being a main theme of the game. You see where I'm going with this, guys, right? You see, Midori confirmed green being the new theme color 4 months after the leak came out on Reddit, And when I read that from Midori herself and looked at the artwork, graffiti artist, painting, etc. from the 25th anniversary event, I immediately went back to this thread and read it with bated breath. So here we go. So this user claimed,
like a side note, but the art style of Persona 5, even though I haven't, played Persona 5 yet, it is so revolutionary. It is so attractive and so strong and has so much attitude. No wonder so many people love this art. It is something so unprecedented. I'm so excited for this game.
the following. The game is being done by new staff with the supervision of Mr. Watanabe, Mr. Doi, and Mr. Hashino. The main team is focused in Re-Fantasio game, which is metaphor. And this would actually be true. Even though Hashino isn't working directly on P6, I highly doubt that he isn't involved at all. He's probably just working as a consultant. It's been a very long time since the last main launch, not counting Royal, because of some reasons. Development being returned to zero a few times, part of a normal in-game development and part of it not fitting expectations. And the other part because of the art team being working a lot to develop a large amount of new demons, 70 plus not counting bosses. Now everything is fine.
I want to believe so hard that when people say everything's fine, that it's really fine, but I use this word in a very different way. And let's just hope that when they say it's fine, it actually means it's fine. It's not it's fine.
So this is also very possible. I do work in development and design industry, and a lot of time this can happen. But also 70 plus new demons, not counting bosses? Yes, please. If everything goes well, the game should be out in fall 2025. This has now been corroborated between 3 different sources. So I'm definitely gonna, I'm very confident in saying that Persona 6 is coming out next year. The color.
Oh my god, that means I have to hurry with Persona 5. I mean, I'm gonna play it at my own pace, but holy shit. I feel a little pressured. This is not official, obviously, and I think they're gonna put a lot more time into marketing, but how exciting would that be?
Colors of the game are 2 this time, dark and green. I don't really know what they're talking about dark. Is dark even a color? But green was confirmed by Midori, so I'm inclined to believe that this particular part of the leak is true. Like in the other games, the colors have a story significant meaning. We came up with this because we went to Mr. Hashino to ask why he decided to make those colors for the previous games. And he simply said he thought about the YMCK color scheme before even thinking the theme of the game. We thought it was weird to just make black the main color, so we decided to give some new ideas to our seniors. And that's how we came with the 2 colors ideas.
Do you know why I'm really excited? Because if they wanted to do black but couldn't and had to do another color scheme, that means that Persona 6 has the potential to have a really dark story, and holy shit, am I excited for that.
A few more things I am going to say. Now, I don't know about this one. This one seems a little bit fishy. But also, if Hashino is consulting, both P Studio and Studio Zero
Could be magic,
I
yeah.
assume, share the same Atlus building or building in Tokyo, then it is entirely possible. The protagonists are 2. There's no secret there was an intention to make 2 protagonists in P5, so we decided to rescue that. They are twins, not very much alike though. So this is exciting, to say the least.
I am so curious to see if these leaks are actually going to turn out to be true, because imagine if they did. Like, what kind of game are we getting? Wow.
Very interesting as well. Dual protagonists have been speculated about a lot, possibly male and female, who knows? And I can definitely see where they are coming from with Kasumi, Sumire, and Joker in P5. So who really, who knows at this stage, but it'd be really interesting to see 2 protagonists, especially for a Persona game. This time, the time period of the game is 1.5 years instead of 1 school year. You will have to play to know why. I mean, yay, longer game. I don't want Persona to end. Now this part is the meat and potatoes, guys, so get ready. The setting is again a school, but this time is special. It's an art facility. We really wanted to make it more mature, but our bosses wanted to make it appeal to the young fantasy era. So we came up with a mix of it. The idea of the art facility was having high schoolers in their late years and young adults in their college age, allowing us to appeal to our bosses' intentions and ours. The theme of the group this time are artists. Musicians, painters, you sure can think of more than 2 or 3. In this game, the number 2 is very important, as you have probably noticed. 2 protagonists, 2 colors, and a bit more. So we are having 2 new mechanics.
Holy
One
shit.
of them is the zones of the game. What do I mean with zones? Have an alternate version of them, you can call them dark. And the other one is a new mechanic attached to the characters and their personas, not just summoning this time. So guys, artists. Theme of art and artists. High school is preparing for adult life. Like seriously, if you cannot see the correlations here, just rewatch this video. Now again, all this is highly speculative. If it hasn't been confirmed by Midoriya, I would take this with a grain of salt, but everything does make sense. The 25th anniversary artwork with painting, graffiti, music notes, and color green. There's got to be something here. There's really got to be something here. The 2 new mechanics sound interesting as well. Zones and hubs sound very much like they're trying to do what they are doing in Metaphor.
Do you think that if they are musicians and artists and whatnot, that they would get even remotely tempted to do somewhat of a rhythm game?
And another mechanic regarding people's personas that isn't just summoning, this sounds really cool. Anyways, continuing on. We are rescuing a few ideas from other games, like the idea of traveling from P5 strikers and the idea of having adults in the game. Going back to the protagonists, there is no intention to make them very different story-wise. The other sibling will have a slightly different personality, but their story is going to be the same no matter who you choose, apart from 3 different confidants and 1 different party member, depending on who you choose. So this to me just sounds like a lot of replayability here, so you can basically play like both storylines, so be pretty interesting. Going back to the twins, both of them are in the middle of their 3rd year. We wanted to explore that awful moment that comes with entering the adult world, so you're going to be able to play as them in their 1st year of adult. But you will have to wait more years if you want to drink. I think that's just a little bit of a joke there. Again, for those of you who want an adult
Replay
cast,
value,
this may
yeah.
be a good compromise. But having 2 protagonists is still something that is very interesting. They would have to be male and female, surely, right? So that is pretty much the end of the leak. A lot of information, so definitely go rewatch and definitely check out the Reddit thread as well below. Now, again, a lot of this is speculative, a lot of this is just rumor based only, and without anyone sort of confirming this, I will take this with a grain of salt. But just like I mentioned before, the parallels are there, you know, with the art, the graffiti, the color green. I think this might be a very, very credible leak. If all of this is true, or maybe at least partially true, Persona 6 is shaping up to be one amazing game. I think the setting of artists and art in general can open a lot of interpretation, and it will be definitely interesting to see what their take on it will be. Regardless though, I am truly hyped, and I'm definitely ready for the next mainline game in the Persona series. Please don't forget to leave a like and comment about what do you want to see most in Persona 6. I'm sure we'll be definitely finding out more information sometime this year. So subscribe and click that notification button, as I will be definitely covering everything about Persona 6. So thanks for watching everyone, and I'll catch you in the next video.
Green could mean something like magic or rebirth. Definitely. However, the way I see it is I would really enjoy another dark theme. I feel like Persona 3 is really dark, but also really sad. And I really am seeing green as yes, it could be rebirth, it could be magic, but it also could be like the Maleficent thing, like like a little bit of like a color of villains, and I would really enjoy that. But I don't know if they would do that. I would but I would really be excited for that. Don't like how Persona is always in Japan. I mean, they do get a lot of cultural references from other places, other countries and such, but I don't know where else it could be. Also, Handsome Stripe, welcome in. I'm feeling much better today, thank you. How are you? I think that they're gonna have, a male and a female story if there's a twin protagonist, but they also said that it's gonna end the same. So they probably have different social links, kind of like in Persona 3. Which version is that? The PSP, the one that has the female protag as well. So replay value is huge. And I don't know if they're gonna do a year and a half. I think they might not because of how long the game would be. But I think that they might just make it more possible for you to actually complete this. Maybe not. Maybe not. Because how do they benefit from you being able to complete all the social links in one go? There's no replay value there, is there? So I don't know. I don't know if we should believe that, but it would be fun. Characters would use musical instruments or art brush to summon. Yeah, like victim answers in Persona. Hope you could be welcome in. What's up? Yeah, no, not getting roped in P5. Sure. We'll see. We'll see about that. I'm gonna start playing soon, so we'll see if you get tempted. Soul hackers have summoners who use musical instruments. Robbie uses a little saxophone. I see. I've never even seen soul hackers. A photo would be nice, but I really do hope that they avoid these flashes, because if there's a camera that you summon with, like the first thing that I'm thinking about is like a flash every single time. It's like, please no, I'm tired of these epi attack warnings and these features in games that make my head hurt. Holy shit. I'm welcome back. How are you today? The scheduling phase works suspiciously well lately. Wait, what? Are we talking about the game? Yeah, green's also associated with witches. Yeah, but what I did see is that they used this green that I'm not a particular fan of. Like, I don't know if you can see it on screen. Like this like turquoise-ish green. Or maybe I can find it in a video. Wherever it is that they talked about the color scheme. If it's that kind of green, then I don't know. Then, it could be more, magic oriented and such. I'm not a huge fan of this kind of green. And if it's light green like that, I don't know. I don't know about that. Java, welcome in. How are you today? Persona often had a lighter theme, at least in comparison to other parts of the SMT games. Yeah, it's just that SMT story is, okay, it's getting fleshed out in Vengeance a little bit, but it is so complex and there's so much grind involved to even get to the pieces of the story that I feel like a lot of people will miss out on it. But there is a story. Just hold on, before Persona 6 comes out, I'm a bit skeptical. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Like, I never trust the leaks before they actually turn out to be true, but I'm not gonna lie, it is something that I'm really excited for. Like, even, I don't know, there's something special about leaks and talking about them and kind of speculating what the game is gonna be like. I don't know, like, I find it satisfying. Could be a nature connection as well. Yeah, that's true. Wonder what the Velvet Room would be. If we're going with art, maybe it's a studio. Yeah, that would make sense. Aw, sorry to hear that, Job. I hope he feels better. Had to wait 4 years for P5. And then another, how many years for Persona 5 Royale? A lot, right? Yeah, make sure to go and subscribe to Zeffy. Zeffy is a growing YouTube channel with an astounding
The remake of
amount
Persona
of
3 is now
views
complete with Persona 3.
on this channel. So they have a channel with a lot of Persona related news and some other JRPGs as well. So if you're into that, make sure to go and give them a sub. Anyhow, today we are going to continue with Persona 3, The Answer. I haven't finished it yet, and I don't know what I was gonna say, but I'm really excited for it. Anyway,